Hello and welcome to Module 7. This introductory video focuses on using the internet effectively when carrying out company research prior to an interview. Watch the video and then complete the activities. The best way to convince your interviewer that you know the company well is to be able to articulate what makes it special compared to competitors. The good news, companies will often tell you the answer to this question on their websites, so this should be your first port of call. One way companies share how they stand out is through their mission or values, which are typically prominently displayed in the About Us section. You should read this closely to learn what might be different about this organisation compared to others. For instance, if you're interviewing with a marketing agency, commitment to client service is probably something that competitors boast about, but if one of its other core values is corporate social responsibility, that's useful to know and something you can talk about. Review this along with any other basics you should be familiar with prior to the interview, like company size, location and history. You don't want to be that person who asks questions that can easily be answered by checking out on the website. It's also useful to know a little about the financial health of the company. You can check out the accounts of most large companies on their websites or from Companies House in the UK. Look out for their annual reports, which will cover a range of topics including new products, company risks and whether revenues are growing or stable. Once you have this information, it's up to you to draw your own conclusions. While you don't necessarily want to spout off stock prices or funding history, being able to speak insightfully about where you think the company will go in the future, backed up with facts, is hugely impressive at an interview. Somewhere along the application process, someone involved in the interview process has possibly Googled you and also looked at your social media accounts. You should do the same when you're doing your company research. Apart from the news that comes up when you Google the company, which you should also read, corporate blogs are goldmines, especially for younger companies that are growing. Whether it's a post welcoming new recruits to the sales team or detailing new features of a recent software update, this is the kind of stuff you should know about. LinkedIn is also a great tool for learning about what kind of news the company communicates and therefore wants you to know. Check the company page on LinkedIn and see what kind of updates are featured. Are they running any promotions or a statement on how the sales team exceeded earning expectations? Either way, this will show you what types of things to bring up in a conversation. You can also check out profiles of the people who will be interviewing you and make sure you have your profile set so that they can see that you've viewed their profiles. This might seem counterintuitive, but it actually shows that you're a serious candidate and are doing your due diligence before the interview. Lastly, check out the company's Twitter and Facebook profiles. Is the tone professional or casual? Is it a non-stop promotion with zero interaction? Is the team responsive to complaints? Tuck away positive news and examples you encounter during your research so that you can use them at the interview. You may be able to glean a bit about corporate culture through the company's blog and social media accounts, but to really build on that information, try looking for information from external sources. Try to find a past or current employee you can speak with and build on what you already know. You can ask something like, I understand the company is working on growing its presence in Asia. Can you tell me more about how this initiative is impacting the team? This will both impress and grow what you know about your potential employer. Apart from knowing as much as possible about the place where you're being interviewed, it's a good idea to be able to talk about the industry as a whole, and even more impressive, to be able to talk about competitors and how the company fits into the bigger picture. Look up competitors by going to the LinkedIn company page and scrolling down to the Other Companies People Viewed section. There should be a few competitors there. Do the same thing with the competitors until you feel you have a pretty good sense of who the big players in the field are. Follow the same research steps you did for the company where you're being interviewed, but focus only on those things that are relevant to your interview. Think big picture, not minute details on specific projects. Is a competitor actively acquiring startups that target a different market, or maybe new collaborations indicate a possible shift in audience for a big competitor? After all this research, you'll probably be wondering, so what do I do with all this information? Remember that your objective is to be convincing when you say, I want to work for your company. Back this up by being able to talk about what makes the company unique and express your enthusiasm by showing off your knowledge. Bring in examples of what you know in your interview answers and watch your interviewers nod in approval. After all, few things are as effective in an interview as knowing exactly what you're talking about.